cyber, you might be hearing day-to-day news that cyber security, due to cyber security, a lot of CS are suffering and a lot of public also suffering. So we invite all of you to today's program, do's and don'ts to the cyber security. And now I welcome CA Deepak Ladda, Chairman of the Hyderabad branch, and CA ACS Reddy, Management Committee of Hyderabad branch, and CS Sachin Dedia and his partner Nikhil, today's speakers to this program. I invite all the participants also, the 40 participants join today. Now I request Deepak Ladda, Chairman of the branch, to give welcome on this program and over your.
Thank you, Secretary Ravi Shankar Reddy. I welcome all the members. I welcome the Speaker of the DA, Sachin Dedia and Nikhil ji, who has accepted our invitation and agreeing to address on such an important topics, do's and don'ts for chartered accountants in cyber security. Friends, the reason why we choose this topic was a logic. Sir, as we all know, Sachin Dedia sir is a national speaker and being empaneled faculty under FAFD department of ours, he takes regularly classes for the FAFD batches and has a very good command subject in the knowledge. So the reason when I discuss the same thing, sir said definitely he will ready to address to Hyderabad branch. And when we discuss the topic, he's saying, let us take a topic which is same, which is applicable not only to members in practice but also to members in industry. Cyber security and other relevant topics are few topics where any member can attend. Generally, when we have a GST, the person who practicing GST will attend. When we do information technology, there will be a person. Then have income tax, the person related to income tax practice will attend. But the cyber security have now become the basic etiquettes which we all should know, whether we are in employment, whether we are in job, or whether we are not into business also, entrepreneurs. So because as we all know, the number of cyber crimes that is getting reported to Hyderabad cities, national, international level is going with a very big rapid space. So it is very important that we should be getting aware and what are the basic etiquette we should follow and keeping it view the compliance of the law as well as safe our client data, safe our data, so that we are not open to the vulnerabilities. I'm using the word vulnerabilities because we are dealing with the cyber securities laws and other things. Sir, as friends, as we know, we are into practice and there are sometimes a lot of external data gets flows to our emails. There are a lot of external photos, data which we take from the pen drives. So we are exposed to a lot of risk and the data which we deal are the very crucial and very sensitive financial data which are very important for all of us and for all the corporates tomorrow, so that apart from our data, it is the data of numerous number of clients, financial data which we are carrying at our office. So it is very much important for us to have that we are safe from the cyber security. So with this idea and the intention behind, the managing committee of Hyderabad branch decided why should not we invite Sachin sir, who should tell us what should we do, what should we not do in the present cyber pace of working, because IT, we are now form part of it. It is now the basic, we have to live with it. There is no world without IT security. So IT technologies, we use technologies day in, day out, from morning to the night. So we should be, as we are adopting the technologies, definitely the risk also comes automatically with this. So hence, it is very much that we should be aware of this to protect ourselves, protect our data, protect our clients, and also protect our profession integrity, because cyber security happens, any cyber attack happens, the level of the compensation they are asking is which is beyond our imagination. So it is very much that we should be getting aware of this all data. Hence, we have planned for this seminar. Thank you, Ravi sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Deepak Ladda sir, Chairman of the Hyderabad branch, for giving very good introduction for this today's program and selecting the topic and the speakers most relevant for the day. And I request now CA Chinnasitaram Reddy to give introduction of the speakers today. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Secretary Garu. It's my privilege to introduce today's speaker, Sachin. Mr. Sachin is a qualified CISA, SEC, CEI, ISO 27001.
Can you be a little louder? It's actually not audible.
Mr. Sachin is a qualified CISA, SEC, CEI, ISO 27001 LA. He is an independent cyber crime investigator and also a certified ethical hacker. He is also a certified international trainer in the field of ethical hacking, cybercrime investigation and digital forensic and VAPT. Since many years, he is working as an independent cybercrime investigator and also as a security expert for various MNCs, SMEs, government departments, corporate and even individuals also. He has also providing training to Mumbai, Gujarat, across India, various levels of police departments, also assisted various other government departments of India with respect to their cybercrime queries. Since 2010, he has been successfully conducting various seminars and workshops across numerous schools, colleges, universities, chartered accountants, Rotary clubs, hospitals, for all covered all the societies of the society, all the sectors of the society. In 2010, he was privileged to give seminar in the Raj Bhavan, that is in the Governor's Office of Mumbai, one of the youngest and most popular speaker in Mumbai University for the refresher and orientation courses. 9 years of experience in the web application, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, ISO 27001 network VAPT. Conducted numerous audits for various international as well as national clients, government departments also. He is associated with prestigious associations like Indo-American Society, Bombay Chartered Accountants, Bombay Chamber of Commerce, Princeton Academy, ICI, Bankers Training Colleges for conducting corporate workshops. He has founded a company by the name Skynet Security Solutions, which assists and provides training to the various government departments, especially the Police Department of India, in solving the cyber crime and cases. So this is the brief profile about today's speaker, Mr. Sachin. And over to Secretary C.I. Ravishankar Reddy.
With this introduction, we invite Sachin sir for taking the session. Sir, over to you, sir.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir, we are able to hear.
Yes. Thank you, Chairman sir. Chairman sir, Ravishankar sir, Reddy sir, to Hyderabad branch. Once again in my team. Okay, and friends, yes sir. I'll be showing a lot of demos, and I'll be sharing my content.
Sachin sir, there is an audio connectivity issue.
It's now.
Sir, your audio is not audible.
Acha, just hold on 1 minute. Oh. You. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, better. So I'll just share my screen. I hope you're able to see my screen also.
Not really, sir.
Okay, I'll share my screen again. Okay, I hope now it is visible.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Done. Okay, so welcome all the participants. Just as sir suggested, I'm going to keep the session as a more practical one, more hands-on, and we can have a very interactive session also. Okay. So, do's and don'ts for chartered accountants. I'll be sharing a lot of notes also. So I'd like to start with my first presentation. I believe in majority of our phones today we have a very wonderful by the name of Truecaller. Am I right, everybody? So I'll sign out of Truecaller over here. I sign in. See, what happens is whenever anybody is going to use a Truecaller application, okay, you will see that Truecaller says login, sign in via Google or sign in with Microsoft. Generally, you know how many of you have done this? Basically, how many of you have signing into third-party websites where you get this option of signing with Google or signing with Microsoft? You know, like how many of you have done this? We might not even remember it, but majority of us would have ended up doing this. Yeah, you can raise your hands. Majority of you, majority of us actually, including me also. Am I right? Now, I'll just tell you the effect of this. Okay. So what happens is, see this, once I click on sign in, and then I say sign in with Google, I'll select one of that account. Okay. Sign in with Google. This is what I will select, and that's it. I've been logged in. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll just go into my Gmail account, which I have to sign in. Okay, you can see this is my Gmail account, sign in, right? Over here. So now follow my steps, everybody. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go into my Gmail account and here I'll click on manage your Google account. Okay. Manage your Google account. Once I click on that, see, I'll share the notes. Okay. I'll share the steps. I'll share the notes. On the left hand side, you can see options like personal data and privacy, and one option is what? Security. Okay. When I click button security. Okay. Then I come down and then I check third-party apps with account access. Third-party apps with account access. Okay. Once I click on this manage third-party apps with account access, here I will see that here how many applications have got access to third party. You can see this over here. See, Dropbox has got access to my Google contacts. Okay, only Google contacts. Then Truecaller has got access to Google contacts. Again, Google contacts only. It's okay. What they can do with my contacts? They can see and download my contacts. Fair enough. My point here is none of the applications, none of the third-party applications should get access to your Google Mail or Google Drive. I hope you're understanding my point. None of the third-party applications should get access to your Google Mail or Drive. Why? Because if they get access to your Google Mail, all our emails, and also if we are in the habit of saving on Google Drive, they can see our Google Drive data also. I hope this is clear, everybody. So there are other applications also like Clear, Community, Exaigigo, Twitter, Yatra, Zoom, through which I must have logged into Google, logged in using this, my Gmail account, basically. But access to my other data in Gmail. They only got access to my primary Google account and everything. I would like to tell you one simple thing. If you are trying this, I would like to repeat the steps. Okay. Name of your account, manage your Google account, security, and over there, third party apps with account. And this is where we have to go and verify whether any third party application has got any access to our data. Clear, everybody? Any doubts, any questions in this? Anybody wants to check? Please let me know. Okay, so I'll move on to the next point now. Okay. Okay, mitigation for this. I got a question and answer. What is the mitigation for this? Simple. What I would request here is uh, try to keep two Google accounts. Anyways, Google is free. Okay. Try to put two Google accounts. One where our official statements, our official transactions, and everything like that happen. And the second Google account, what we call it as a time pass email account or something like that, secondary email account, where we account of third party websites like Rob, all these kind of things, basically. Or even on an official email account, we just need to go and check whether hoping none of the third party applications have got access to our Google Mail. In case if they got access, you can go over there and remove the access. Simple. You can go over there and remove the access. Basically, what will happen is that we will not get a chance to log into Caller again. You might have to log in something else, but at least they no longer have access to our Google Mail or something. We can always go ahead and remove the access. But I'm requesting you to periodically go and check that, because if you don't do that, there is a good possibility that somebody does not need to know your Google password. They simply will be able to access all your mails for that. I hope this is clear, right? Sure. Yes. Okay, done. Okay. Now I'll move on to the next point. How many of you have ended up giving your biometrics on the phone? How many of you have this very wonderful habit of locking your phone, not using a passcode or a password, but using the biometric? Again, majority of us. No, on the phone, Face reader is a separate thing. Face reader is a separate thing. On the phone, using our biometrics. Okay, face reader, biometric. I'm talking about fingerprint. Biometrics, fingerprints. How many of you have given your prints on the finger scan? Face time, finger scan, right? Now, I know quite a few or majority of us would have done it. Okay. In case if you have done that, please do this. Okay, please do this simple this is, take it as a compulsory homework. Okay? Take it as a compulsory one. Go into the Aadhaar website. Okay, just hold on 1 minute. Yeah, I would request, go into the Aadhaar website. In Aadhaar website, there is this option known as lock or unlock your biometrics. We can see this over here. Lock and unlock your biometrics. See, what I would request here is, our biometrics are priceless biometrics, right? Everything can be changed or altered in our life, but very difficult to alter the biometrics inside of, very difficult to alter the biometrics. Now, such a priceless thing, we are giving it for free, just to lock a phone. I hope you're getting me. See, in India, what has happened is, our biometrics are linked with our Aadhaar card. I hope all of you are aware of that, right? When we took out our Aadhaar card, they took away our biometrics. And in the future, Aadhaar will be linked to all of our financial data, right? I hope you're getting me. In the future, Aadhaar will be linked to all of our financial data, right? And if that is the thing, we need to secure that biometrics along with our Aadhaar.
Sir. Hello.
Sachin sir. Sachin sir, are you there?
सर अभी लॉक करके लॉग ऑन करते बोले सर.
Okay. Sir, members, sorry for the inconvenience. There is some serious connectivity issue. Just give us couple of minutes. The speaker will rejoin. Thank you.
Uh, Share my screen again. Okay. So, what I was going to say was biometrics. Okay. We need your biometrics, especially when they are linked with our Aadhaar card. So this is one step which I would request all the participants to do, along with your family members also. Okay. So what I would request is the Aadhaar website. Okay. There is one option known as lock and unlock your biometrics. You can see this over here. Lock and unlock your biometrics. You click on I understand. Click on lock your biometrics. Put your Aadhaar card number. Give the captcha code. You'll get the OTP, and you simply go ahead and what you will do? Lock your biometric. Okay. Why do I want you to do that? Because anybody where to get access to your Aadhaar card, which I think, but in case if they get access to your biometrics, they can easily get access to your Aadhaar data also. Okay. So basically, it's a prevention of identity theft. It's a lot of other things which you can prevent, from happening also. So just a simple exercise to the Aadhaar website, go ahead and lock your biometrics. Now, what will happen is that if you want to verify your Aadhaar, which means suppose you go to any government site and everything like that. Okay. Okay, or government. I'm repeating again. So this is where you have to verify the Aadhaar. Okay, unlock your biometrics, verify your Aadhaar, and then lock it up again. Okay, I hope this is clear.
Sachin sir, still audio is a problem, sir.
Just one minute, sir. I have just added. There is one more Sachin area. Can you just add him? I mean, make him the panelist.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sir,
Hello, Sachin sir.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So.
Thank you.
Okay. So what I was trying to say here was, we need to, protect our biometrics. As I said, visit the website of Aadhaar. Okay, and please go ahead and lock your biometrics. Basically, Why am I asking you to do that? Because unfortunately, we have already given up our Aadhaar card as a way of Xerox at various places, and we are also giving our biometrics at on some devices where nothing belongs to India. Like say you are giving a biometric on an Android or an iPhone where the hardware is not manufactured in India and even the software is not there, right? So at least the basic precaution that we can take is ensure that you know we do not give our biometrics that easily. That is the first part. The don't part is not to give your biometrics that easily. And the second part is go to the other website and log the biometrics. And one very kind request, please pass on this information to all your family members also. Not necessary that only our biometrics are important. Clear, everybody? Any doubts so far in this? Please let me know. Okay, so those who are a little bit technical also, okay, little bit technical, I would also like you to take one more step, one more thing if you can all do, basically, is go to the Aadhaar, again the same options, go to My Aadhaar. In My Aadhaar, there is something called as VID, Virtual ID Generator, VID, okay. Now, what you can actually do is generate a virtual ID, VID, which means, sometimes I'm not very comfortable in giving my Aadhaar card number also, okay. So what I'll do is I'll come over here and I'll generate a 16-digit code, a virtual ID for my Aadhaar card number, which is linked to my Aadhaar, basically, which is linked to my Aadhaar. But in case if somebody says, okay, please provide your Aadhaar card number, okay, so all I need to do is give them my virtual ID, and that is how I'm able to protect my actual Aadhaar card number also. And this is an accepted way, okay, it is legally allowed, okay, it is officially allowed. Basically, why? Because I'm not generating a virtual ID through some unknown different websites. I'm generating the virtual ID directly from the My Aadhaar government website only. Okay, I hope this is clear. This is just an additional step to protect your data and your privacy. I mean, just your Aadhaar card and everything like that, basically. Requesting again, once again, pass on this information to your younger generations also. Okay. Next step. I believe majority of you, generally whenever I give a session in any chartered accountant seminars or workshops, majority of the CAs generally have this question that what is my article doing in my absence? Basically, it's like a CA who knows that as long as you're sitting in the office, everybody would be working very, I mean, they would be really hardworking, they would be concentrating, and they would be really doing some good work, right? Basically. But others, once you are outside the office, you never know how much productivity or how much productively they are doing the time, basically. Okay, so many service providers are not accepting it, fair enough. Yeah, they're still very skeptical about accepting Aadhaar card as a part of virtual ID, because they would rather take the ID number, the actual Aadhaar card only. But again, as I said, people like me, I've actually taken out my Aadhaar card as a form of a Xerox, laminated it, and my Aadhaar card actually contains my virtual ID number also. And I'm showing it at airports, I'm showing it at hotel check-ins. It's all accepted, basically. I mean, because they actually don't look at the Aadhaar card number also, all they do is just go over there, take the Xerox and take out of it. But that's it. Okay. Depends on the service provider, whether they're accepting, not accepting again. So just to give you an idea, you must have heard about Paytm, right? If you're using Paytm UPI, all of you must have done is verified your Aadhaar card. Okay, if you want to use the Paytm UPI, you are supposed to verify your Aadhaar. Now, what people have ended up doing here is people have actually given their Aadhaar card number to Paytm and also given their biometrics and allowed Paytm to verify your Aadhaar card also. So this is where we need to understand where and what level of data we need to give to third party companies and third-party organizations. So in case if they're not accepting it, we also need to understand why are they not accepting virtual ID, which has been actually generated by the Aadhaar itself. They are generally accepted at various government organizations and forms and everything like that. So third-party private organizations might be reluctant to accept virtual IDs because their main objective would be to get access to data and then maybe sell the data, or not exactly sell the data, but yeah, try to make something more out of it, basically. And it is generated once, it holds good for future, basically. If you can generate it once, it holds good for future also.
Sachinji, sorry, members are saying, can the audio be little louder?
Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah. Just hold on 1 minute, sir.
And request member to be kindly little actively as sir is asking doubts and our personal experiences. So we request you to please type your response in the chat box. It will make session more encouraging and participative. Thank you. Yes, Sachin sir, you can continue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I hope this was clear, everybody. See, this is one of the most important things that I would request all of you to do. Okay, 2 things. Lock your biometrics, basically. Well, actually, virtual ID is not a replacement for the original Aadhaar card, but you can consider it as much as we can protect. It's not exactly a replacement, but it is just a way of ensuring that we do not give our original Aadhaar card numbers that easily, basically. I know it is little too late, but still, at least we can now prevent. Yes. Virtual ID. There are some banks which are still accepting virtual ID for KYC documents also. But I will also tell you a very practical problem. Basically, see, in virtual ID, when KYC documents, when the bank gives the form now, the form is Aadhaar card they have written over there, basically, and the Aadhaar card is of X numbers and virtual ID is of Y numbers. So there is 12 and 16 numbers. So we don't get the space to fill it up. That is where the technical difficulties are still coming, where there are forms which are only of 12 digits and virtual ID is of more digits, basically. That is where the practical difficulties are coming. See, it depends on who is accepting, who is refusing to accept virtual ID. It depends whether we really want to fight it out or not, basically, and who the organization is. Otherwise, if we can let go or if we can inform them, it's good. If not, well, then anyways, we have ended up giving our Aadhaar card at various places. Might as well as give it to one more. I mean, it depends whether we are in a mood to fight or not, or whether it is worthwhile fighting or not. Yeah, it is good enough. See, it is enough to lock your biometrics and not create a virtual ID. That is the reason I said, if people who are a little bit more technical or a little bit more this thing, there is no harm in creating a virtual ID and carrying both the Aadhaar cards with you. See, anyways, we were going to give our original Aadhaar card, right? But if somebody says, show your Aadhaar card, might as well as show the virtual ID. If accepted, fair, good enough. I hope you're getting me, What is the harm in creating the virtual ID and distributing it rather than distributing our original Aadhaar card? But you are right, Vijay Kumarji. As I said in the beginning also, please understand, generating virtual ID is an optional thing which I would recommend. It's an optional thing. Okay. But I would definitely recommend all of you to lock your biometrics. I hope you're getting my point. Like if you were to ask me, sir, what is the priority? I would always say lock your biometrics. Okay, there are various other features which are there in the Aadhaar website. I'll be sharing the notes along with the branch. Okay. Yeah, I've done that. I have printed my Aadhaar card with virtual ID and I'm using it. There's a question asked. that can we print Aadhaar card with virtual ID? As I said, I've done that, and I'm using that also. I'm using it when I'm checking into hotels. I'm using that at my airports. Well, to be honestly speaking, when I show a virtual ID card with a printed Aadhaar card with virtual ID, half the people don't understand whether it's a virtual number or a original Aadhaar itself. You will get it once you do it. Once you go through the site, you will be able to do it. Virtual ID, you will be able to download it. Should I create a small video and a PPT to share how to do both the unlock biometrics and how to create the virtual ID? I'll create a small PPT and I'll share it with all of you, even if small video if required. Yes, perfectly right. Brahmaji is speaking from experience. That is absolutely right. Once we lock our biometrics, the moment it unlock for carrying out transaction, it is valid only for 10 minutes and then it automatically gets locked. That's the feature of Aadhaar as of now. Okay, I'll prepare a small video so that all of you can, take it out. Go through the steps. Okay. Now, moving on to the next point. Your mobile phones. Okay, question. Again, very simple question. I think all of you should be aware of this. How many of you have started using mobile banking also on the phone? Mobile banking. Majority of you, right? I'm talking about mobile banking, not about Google Pay and Paytm and all that. Mobile banking. How many of you started using mobile banking on the phone? Majority of us would have done it, right? Using on the mobile itself, mobile banking. Agreed? Also, we have our personal photos, videos, but obviously we also have our corporate emails, and emails also been registered on mobiles, right? Your email IDs would also be there on the mobiles, personal as well as corporate email IDs, both. Right. Now, think from a hacker's point of view. Okay, think from a fraudster's point of view. What would they like to target? What would they like to attack? If somebody wants to target you, if somebody wants to attack you, what would they like to target? Your mobile phone. I hope you're getting me. Banking applications, perfectly right. See, just try and understand. I mean, I'm just asking, you must have heard about darknet, right? Darknet and deep web and everything like that, where all the criminals, all the fraudsters, and all the hackers offer their services and do their activities. I'm asking all of you a very simple question. Do you think a chartered accountant should be in the target list of the hackers? Put yourself into the hacker's shoes and tell me, do you think a chartered accountant should be a target for the hackers? Would you be in the target list? Do you value yourself as one of those targets where a hacker would feel interested to come and attack? Why so? If yes, if you deem worthy, if yes, then why so? What would a hacker feel interested in a CA? Bank balance of the chartered accountant? Fair enough. Client's data into your system. Perfectly right. Interested in the client data of the clients, right? Client's data, bank balance, and everything like that. And where is your client's data? Majority of the data. Context, client's financial data, of course, in your servers, in your computers. But is your client's data also on your emails, office servers, but is part of the mails also, right? Where you send the statements, where you might send the balance sheets, where you might send the signed drafts or the raw data or something like that. Part of it sometimes get exchanged on the mail also. Of course, you also have Dropbox, you have Google Drive, and you have your own office systems also. Fair enough. But I would request that from a hacker's point of view, mobile phones are now becoming the prime targets. Okay. And your Hyderabad, I mean, I don't want to say this, but I'll just show you one software, which is the hero of our cybercrime world. Okay. The name of the software is FlexiSpy. FlexiSpy. Okay. This is regarded as one of the world's most powerful spy monitoring app. It is a spy application. Please understand. Okay. It is a spy application. If this application gets installed inside your phone, it will totally be hidden. I repeat, if this application gets installed inside your phone, it will totally be hidden. It will not be shown on your phone and it will be running in the background. Okay, in the background itself. And what are the features of this phone, of this spy application? So if it gets installed inside the Android phone, look at what all data can be taken out. Okay, see this. People can listen to your phone call recording. Okay, they can see your environment recording. They can then see your forget that Skype messages, Viber messages. They can read your WhatsApp messages. Okay, and Telegram, Tinder, WeChat. Now they can read your email and Gmail, application screenshots. Okay, call logs, address book, and SMS. Now please tell me, SMS messages. Why would anybody be still be interested in reading your SMSs? Yes, I hope all of you understanding. The OTP of the bank comes on your SMSs only. Okay, then there is location tracking, browser activity, application activity, installed application, and keylogger. Keylogger means what? Anybody understands what you mean by keylogger? Anybody? Keylogger, which means, anything that you type on the keyboard, anything, whatever you type. Yes, perfectly right. Anything that you type on the keyboard will be known back to the hacker, and he can see whatever you have typed. Now, if I can see whatever you type on the keyboard, what can I capture? You use these three features, application activity. I can see how many applications you have installed, and I can see whatever you are going to type. So what can I capture out of this? Password. Perfectly right, all of you. So now, see, I would just request all of you, combine this two. I can now get your password. I can get your OTP. I hope you're getting me. Right? Then, of course, I can see your photos. I can see your videos. I can listen to audio files, wallpaper images, calendar, like practically everything. Hardly कुछ बचा? कुछ बचा इसमें? Anything left over here? Right? Now, tell me, typing through virtual keyboard is a good option. That is the reason now you understand the importance of virtual keyboard, everybody. One of the reasons why we are going to use a virtual keyboard. I hope all of you understand that. So if you type through virtual keyboard, it will be difficult for anybody to get access to your password. Okay. Where is the software used? Who is using the FlexiSpy applications? Well, husband has got it out on wife. Wife has got it out on husband, of course, for personal purposes. But we also seen bosses putting in their employees' phones. Parents are putting in their children's phone. Partners putting in another partner's phone. Directors putting in another director's phone. Basically, so you can get to see a lot of data. I hope this is clear, everybody. Unfortunately or fortunately, we have also seen this application used at the time of marriages. And I would like to inform all of you that in Bangalore and in Hyderabad, this is a very, very popular application, especially at the time of marriages, because we have seen clienteles whose daughter or son is about to get married. And in Hyderabad and in Bangalore, that is in South, there is a lavish wedding that happens. A family would like to have a good report about the other boy or the girl. So as a part of a wedding gift, I hope all of you are understanding, as a part of engagement gift, along with the usual clothes and jewelry, nowadays, one of the engagement gifts, can anybody make a guess? What would be one of the engagement gifts that is now been given? Anybody? Yes. Perfectly right. Mobile phone with application installed. And if you're looking into my screen, there are iPhones also which are available along with spy application already installed. I hope you're getting me. Clear, everybody? iPhone pre-installed, custom packing available, gift wrapping also available, and it is pre-installed with spywares. Clear? So what do we learn from this? Anybody? What is the outcome of this? What do we learn from this? Make a guess. I showed you something, and I guess all of you must have got a fairly good idea about this. What do we learn from this? Tell me. Yes, continuous monitoring of would be. Yeah. As a part of do's and don'ts, can it be unethical? Well, yeah, it is. We gain to lose. How to check if it is installed? Yeah, well, we are exposed naked in terms of our private details. Perfectly right. Okay. What do we learn from this? Or don'ts? One of the biggest don'ts that you need to have in your life is, honestly, I'm telling you, do not accept phone as a way of a gift. Simple rule. One of the biggest don'ts, not to accept phone as a way of a gift. No matter how good the client is, no matter how good the in-laws are, or no matter how good the future wife or husband is going to be. If you really, really want to protect your data and your privacy, well, sorry to say it in this way, but try and control your emotions at that point of time and do not accept phone as a way of a gift. Well, you can accept and you can format it, no doubt about that. But again, I would like to say that 70 to 80% of the viruses do go away when you format the phone. But there is a good possibility that sometimes the viruses are a part of your boot process. It's a part of your boot process itself. So they might not go away even if you format the phone. Now it depends, how the other person really wants to get access to their data or how much they are willing to pay generally, because just to give you an idea of it, fairly tell me, for 3 months, the cost of FlexiSpy, such spy application is $199. Cost is $199. Tell me, is it expensive or cheap? Yes, depends on the end use, but comparatively very, very cheap as to the kind of data that they would end up getting. It is very, very cheap. Perfectly right. Considering what we are going to get. So I'm just telling you, majority of the lawyers, majority of the detectives are using this. It's a very, very popular application in our cybercrime world to get access to a lot of your data, basically, including WhatsApp data, including your mobile data. Your mobile banking also. Okay. Now, everybody, I'll first tell you how it gets installed. Then I will show you how to uninstall it or how to detect it. Okay. 3 ways. So I'll just show you there are 3 ways to install this inside your phone. 3 ways. One is somebody will obviously come and gift you a phone. Second one is they will need physical access to your phone for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, they will need physical access to your phone for 3 to 5 minutes to install this spy application in an unlocked condition. Clear, everybody? Physical access to your phone for 3 to 5 minutes. Third is by remotely sending you a link on your phone. Now the link would be to download any application. Okay, the link to download any application, link for app. And if you end up clicking on the link and download the application, then of course this spy application will get installed. I'm just giving you a small case study for it. Okay, just read the heading over here. Yeah, just read this. Okay. I hope this was clear. I hope you understood how this I know like how this worked, how this fraud worked. Link. Clear, everybody? Now, let us talk about the detection part. The detection. Okay. Is this part clear? Gift, physical access, and link for the app. Now let us talk about the detection part. So how do we know? How do we know if our phone is infected or not? Basically, right? That is one of the ways that we. How do we identify if our phone is already been bugged by any spy application or not? So first step, run some good antivirus inside your phone. Okay, it could be any good antivirus. So it could be Quickhill or Lookout. So what I'm requesting is run some good antivirus inside your phone, basically like Quickhill, or that could be Lookout, and scan your phone using this good antivirus. Any antiviruses. Okay. Basically, an antivirus would protect or would offer some layer of security. So they will scan your phone and then they will be able to tell you that okay, if your phone is infected or not. Okay, so that is one way of detecting any spy application is there or not. Avast is also there. Yeah, you can use. As I said, any good antivirus which is updated, fair enough. Go ahead and scan the phone using such good antiviruses. So that is one way, not the only way, one way. Second way is knowing how many permissions any applications is taking. So there is something called as Android app permissions. I think all of you must have heard about it, right? So any spy application would obviously require a lot of permissions, right or not? Basically, don't you think it will require a lot of applications access to your location, your audio, your video, your keyboard, right? So a spy application might get installed in the name of a calculator or a Google Chrome or something like that, basically. So what I would request all of you to do, this is a manual way of detecting if it exists or not. A manual way is you need to, I'll send this, okay? Yeah, iPhone app permissions also will do. Okay, in settings, I mean, this is for Android, go into settings app, click on apps, check for app permissions, and then see how many permissions the application has taken. Basically, I hope you're getting me. In iPhone, you can go a step further, even in Android, I guess, nowadays. But in iPhone, I know that we can give the permissions only at the time when I'm going to use the app. Apart from that, they will not be able to access. So although permission is given, but they will be able to see or access my camera or my microphone only at the time when I'm going to use the app, basically. But requesting all of you to periodically go and check and see, there should not be any surprises. you should be able to see how many applications have taken what permissions. If you want, I can help you to download one application that will tell you how many applications have taken what permissions, or you can manually check also. Up to you. Up to you. Otherwise, I can give you one app that will tell you which applications have taken what permissions and which application is consuming a lot of your data. Your bandwidth, your data, which application is consuming your highest number of data, and which application has taken your least permissions and highest permission. There are applications also which are available to do that, or you can manually check it. I leave it up to you. But this is another way, because that is where we can identify any application which has taken a lot of permissions and we come to know that we have never installed it. That means, yeah, it's a good chance that it could be a spy application. Clear? Third way is to forensically scan your phone. Now, of course, this is for people like us. We do it for government agencies. We are doing it for high-end corporates, where we get access to their phones and we scan the entire phone, debug their phone, and just to see if there are any kind of malwares, any kind of viruses, or any kind of spy applications are a part of their phones or not. But this is for really high-end corporates, really big people, or some people who are really suspicious, or for government agents, government employees working in some good positions, where we periodically go and scan the phone using some good digital forensics tools. Basically, scan the phone using some forensics tools. But at the general level, if we really have a doubt, just as one of the sirs rightly suggested, I would request format the phone. If you really have some good doubts, I mean, at the end of it, you're not very comfortable with using an antivirus, not very comfortable with Android app permissions, you do not want to scan your phone using some good forensics tool, put in, okay, just format the phone. At least I would say that 60 to 70% or 70 to 80% of the spy applications would be going on. Clear? Okay. Now we move on to the next point. Now this is very, very important. How many of you are using mobile banking? Of course, you're all using mobile banking. And how many of you have created FDs online, fixed deposits using the online feature, online banking service? And that bank account is a part of a mobile banking. Okay, if possible, I'll just show you a small case study. Again, I do not want to scare all of you. I'm just giving you a heads up. Okay, this is one of the banking frauds. This is really a very, very good fraud that happened, but I'll share this case study. Okay. I would just request all of you, read from over here, read over here. Saturday early morning, just read from over there, Saturday early morning. You understood the fraud, everybody? I'm just showing you a gist of the fraud. Clear? So, one of the most important things which I would like all of you to do, Okay, with what I have done with my financial data, I'm just using one credit card, one bank account, and limit of this credit card is 30,000 rupees. Bank account balance never goes beyond 30. And I'm talking about the total credit card limit is 30. Total, not the monthly balance, not the transaction limit. No, total limit I've reduced it to 30. One bank account where the balance does not go beyond 25 or 30. And this one credit card only I'm exposing to the entire world. Ola, Uber, Viber, Amazon, Flipkart, IRCTC. One credit card where I'm going to some hotels, DMart, grocery stores, or something like that. One bank account to make the small payments back into the credit card, or to fill up with the Paytm or GPay or something like that. I hope you're getting it. What I've done is I've restricted my losses, or I've restricted my exposure basically to max 30 plus 30, that is 60,000. I'm requesting all the chartered accountants not to use that bank account as a part of your mobile banking, where you have got loads and lakhs of rupees as a part of your balance, or where we have created online FDs also as a part of your bank balance, as a part of your mobile banking. I hope this is clear. See, I can give you loads of other experiences. I can give you loads of other case studies, but I don't intend to scare you. But people like us, where we get a lot of case studies, I mean, get of real cases where we get to see the new ways and methodologies that the hackers are using. No, mobile banking might not necessarily include net banking. Basically, it's a mobile banking app which I'm talking you to, suppose you have installed one mobile banking app and that bank account has got loads of money. I would generally request not to, do that, basically. I hope this is clear, everybody. Yeah, see, GPay is safe. I would request that, yes, Brahmaji, that is what I would request. Basically, see, you would have limited. See, what I do is GPay is safe to use, so I transfer quite a few of my bank balance. I transfer quite a few of my accounts, to like GPay or some other apps where I can make the small payments. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 rupees. Use GPay and everything like that. In case if I have to do a transfer of funds, okay. So now, suppose I want to do NEFT, I want to do RTGS, right? I mean, generally, as a part of our day-to-day business, day-to-day routine activities, we have to do a lot of net banking. We have to do a lot of NEFTs and everything like that. So, what I do is I open a PC where I use and go and do net banking. Basically, I hope you're getting me. So I get the OTP on my mobile. Getting? So what I'm doing is I'm including two devices. To do my net banking activities. See, honestly speaking, my frequency of net banking is very, very less. I mean, in my line of business, I do not have to frequently do net banking. Okay. But in case if your business is that you have to do frequent net banking, I would sincerely request, okay, go for a PC, go for an iPad or something like that. Okay. Use the net banking on that one device and get the OTP on another device. If you put the mobile banking username and password on the same device on your mobile and you get the OTP also on the mobile, I hope all of you understanding the day your mobile gets compromised because of some applications like Flexify or something like that. Imagine the kind of loss that you will be suffering. I mean, just, sir also rightly suggested, basically. That's a good question, Kausalji. I mean, few of the other participants can help to answer that way. It's an interesting question that sir has raised. Yes, better, Ganeshanji, better. If you can restrict the number of mobile banking. I mean, I believe one bank account on mobile is good enough. I mean, basically, depending on the business, of course. Yes, something like that. But I hope all of you will have your own views about this. But I hope all of you got a fairly good idea. And if you really want to do more convincing, well, then go over there and search for, just search man loses lakhs. So cyber fraud. Just search like this. You will really be seeing all the cyber frauds. You can see this. I hope you're getting me. You can see a lot of cyber frauds recently also happening. Right? I don't want to scare you, as I said, basically, but yeah. So follow this if you can. Follow this if you can. What is net banking OTP in PC? No, net banking, you won't get net. No. Sir, PC, you use the PC to do net banking. Okay. And in mobile, you should get the OTP. This is how it should be read. Okay. Shall I move on to the next point? Okay. Now comes again, a very interesting point which I would like to discuss. Okay. How many of you heard about a ransomware attack? Heard about it? I think I'm very sorry, but some of you would have been a victim of ransomware attack also. Yes. So your files must have become encrypted and there is no way you will get access to the data. Then you have to pay them ransom in the form of bitcoins. You must have heard about it. Loss of data. Loss of data. And is there any protection against ransomware? Answer is no. There is no solution for ransomware, basically. The only solution that exists is to have a good backup. I will repeat again and again. Okay, please learn to have a good backup of your ransomware. Good backup of your data. Question to all of you, please tell me, what is your current methodology of taking a backup? There is only one solution to ransomware, a good backup. So I would just simply request, there's an age-old technique, an old technique of putting the backup in external hard disk. Okay, so I'll be sharing the steps of how to take the backup. Okay, but you have to ensure that one of your backup is offline. You have to learn to take an offline backup, basically. One of your backups should be offline. What do you mean by offline backup? Anybody? When I say one of your backups should be offline, means what? Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is that one of your backups should not be connected to the internet, right? As a part of a network, because when a ransomware comes, it infects your entire network, including your NAS drives, including your, your servers, including your backup drives, which are connected to within the systems and everything like that, basically. So if you have an isolated backup, what we call it as an isolated offline backup, nothing like it, basically. Clear? I'll share you the steps. I'll share you the methodology of how to take the backup. There's a 3-2-1 steps. There's a 3-2-1 methodology of taking the backup. Okay. And I'll tell you how to go about doing it. But just in brief, I wanted to cover this, like how do we take the backup basically. But please remember, of all, this is very, very important from a CS point of view. Okay. Learn how to take a proper backup, because in case of a ransomware attacks, unfortunately, I can show you that we get a lot of requests. I mean, literally, we get a lot of requests, but nowadays our success ratio, I'll be very honest with you, is very, very less. We are not able to decrypt ransomwares as of now. In case of latest cyber attacks, unfortunately, you can see this. I'll make you go through this. You can see this, ransomware file, ransomware file, ransomware file, data, ransomware file, ransomware attack, corrupted file, ransomware files. You can see this. We are unable to decrypt it. Our success ratios in the past few months have been beginning to going down itself. So that's the reason I'm just informing all of you. Please learn to have a good backup, basically. That is one of the best ways to ensure the protection against ransomware. And there are steps and there are methodologies to take the backup. So I'll be sharing that steps, but the most important matter of that is learn to have an offline backup. Clear? Any doubts, any questions in this? Okay, I'll move on to the next point. Yes, there are backup applications which are available. If you want, I can share you the top backup applications. I'll share you the list also, which are free and which will allow you to take incremental backup or on the drive backup or everywhere, wherever it is required, basically. Okay, clear? I'll just share this link also if required. Sorry, for the backup. No, OneDrive backup is okay. See, I would generally request, if your data is not too big, okay, take the backup on OneDrive. There is no harm in purchasing one external hard disk of 1 TB or 2 TB, which will hardly cost you 3 or 4,000 rupees. Okay, and take one offline backup. That's it. No, difficult, Ganeshanji, because generally these are what the applications are there for backup. These are really good corporates. Okay, and they have been there for long, basically. So less chance that any hacker would possibly load up with free software to do it. Okay. Now, there are few, I mean, sometimes in the seminars, some chartered accountants do end up asking this. Okay, they would like to monitor, as I, in the middle of the seminar also I said, they would like to monitor the activities happening on the article's PC, basically, especially in the absence. It's not that they have a doubt on the article, or sometimes they do have a doubt on the article, or sometimes they would just like to know whether the article is productive enough or not, basically. No, Alkaji, the best way to take the backup on a hard disk, external hard disk, is to something called as an incremental backup. It is there as a part of my PPT, as there as a part of my steps, only to take incremental backup. Incremental backup means I believe majority of you would be doing incremental backup only, right? Basically, it's like only the new backup will be taken. Only the latest update would be stored as a part of the backup. Not complete backup would be taken, right? So now coming back to the main thing again, next topic, that is how do we know what the article is doing in our absence, especially in our absence? Maybe you have a doubt, or maybe you don't have a doubt. Does not matter. Or maybe you're just worried that they are actually not doing any productive work. Basically, they're just sitting idle, or just sometimes they're just chatting. Basically, So how do we come to know? I'm not saying you need to doubt your article. Okay, basically, I'm just saying keep a watch onto them, monitor them, so that we understand that who is actually doing any productive work in our absence. Basically. So there are certain softwares which are available. I'll give you the name of the softwares. That software's name is Active Track. It's one of the applications. These are called as employee monitoring softwares. Basically, So what you need to do is you need to create an ID. You can monitor up to three PCs. You can monitor up to three PCs on one ID for free. Basically. So I already have created it. So see, once you create an account, basically you will be able to monitor. You need to log into that. You need to install that agent. There is again little technical, but I'll share the steps if required. See, install on your device. Can you see this? You can download this. Okay, you download this agent on the system, on the file. Okay, on the PC which you need to monitor. I hope you're getting me. Okay, on the PC, that once this agent is installed, it will be hidden. It will be running in the background, backend. And then of course, you'll be able to see the real-time data also. That is what is happening on your screen with the computer name and everything like that. You will be able to get the screenshots. You will be able to see what websites they have visited. Again, see, there is nothing because I've not downloaded anything. Top applications like Tally, Excel, whatever they are doing, you can get to see the activity logs, alarms. You'll be able to see a lot of basically data over here. Productive number of hours spent, working hours, how much time the PC was on, how much time the YouTube was going on, how much time the Tally was kept on. So all these things that you will be able to get it basically. You can even block certain applications from opening. You can block certain websites from opening. But this is a fairly good way of understanding, what the employee was doing. I'm not saying you need to have a doubt. Just giving you a heads up as to what you can do. Yes, it will show you when the PC was on and when the PC was off, because when the PC was off, no report would be generated. Yeah, if they are using personal cells, which means nothing would happen on the PC. So the PC would show as if it is remaining idle, non-productive. That will also give you a fair indication that they were at least not using the PC and some activities are happening on the cell. Now to monitor their personal cell, of course, there are options available. But again, as I said, we will be crossing that line in case if you have to monitor their cells, personal cells. PCs, this is office property. We can easily put anything required in the PC to monitor, to see if anything they are doing or not doing. Basically. Yeah, see, I'm based on my past experience here is you will get bored at the end of the day. I mean, after 10-15 days, you will stop watching, you will stop monitoring also. This is sometimes just to ensure whether the employee is productive or not, whether they are stealing out any data or not. So yeah, advisable, but I would not say that continuous monitoring is required. It's like, CCTV camera is there. We can monitor where and when it's required. Similarly, just to understand how good the employees are with their work, sometimes this is really, really, really useful. So advisable for work from home employees in the last 2 years, because of COVID, we have been using this a lot. And we have also come to know, side pay tally or Excel chalu hai, baju mein Netflix bhi chalu tha in the middle of the day. So yeah, it's this kind of this kind of monitoring applications have been really, really useful in the last 2 years. Can we prevent the employees to copy data? Yeah, you can prevent the employees to copy data. You can do that. You can restrict. There is something called as DLP. That is called as data leak prevention applications are there. Data leak prevention applications. So, you have a particular server. Just giving an example. You have a server, right? In which there are 10 folders. So you can allow the employee to only have access to 2 folders which he needs to work on, and he will not have access to the other 10 or 8 folders. Sorry, 8 folders. And more importantly, if he copies, or suppose if he tries to copy that data from the server to his laptop or somewhere else, you will get an alert. So yes, such softwares are available. These are called as DLP solutions, data leak prevention solutions. Or you can even use a VPN, virtual private network, for those employees who are working from home. So you can use OpenVPN or you can use VPN and then restrict the data access through the VPN to employees who are working from home. You can try that also. Okay, clear? Any doubts in this application like Active Track or VPN? Okay. Now we're going to talk about your future. How many of you have heard about this bill, Data Protection Act of India? This is more on the lines of GDPR. This is more on the lines of GDPR. Heard about it? Anybody? Yes, GDPR, Data Protection Act of India. Now, trust me, this is my thinking. This is my assumption that ICI, CA Institute has conducted a lot number of seminars under GST, probably the highest in their history. Second highest seminars would be conducted when the Data Protection Act of India is going to come out. Basically, highest was under GST, then second highest would be under this Data Protection Act, because under Data Protection Act of India, even a CA would be audited. Imagine a CA would also be audited under Data Protection Act of India. And of course, CA would also get a lot of opportunities to do further audits with respect to data. Okay. That is where the cyber security will also be coming into limelight. That is where the employees, the clients would be really asking to safeguard the data. Okay. And cyber security will increase a lot, but it will happen in a phase out manner. But yes, Data Protection Act, it would see a lot of responsibilities coming on the chartered accountant. A lot of responsibilities in the form of audits being made compulsory on chartered accountants to ensure they do safeguard the data of your existing clients. And a lot of opportunities for chartered accountants, because everybody else would also be required to be audited. Every hospital, school, college, small brokers, everybody would fall under the purview of Data Protection Act of India, basically. So yes, this is what it is like, well, cost is nothing like that, like depends that this act is still about to come into picture. I mean, it is still not, it is stable. We never know, maybe within a month or two, it could be passed also. Everything is over. Okay, and after that, ICA will conduct the seminars, because then started accountant would need to safeguard their data, would need to safeguard the office, would need to ensure that the data does not get hacked or breached. Because if it does, then CA can be sued. Just to give a simple example, suppose you have my data. Okay, you have my financial data, you have my DSC, digital signature also. And because of your, maybe you got hacked, you got breached, or whatever it is, my data got hacked from your side, as a result of which I suffered some damages, I suffered some loss, then I can come and sue you. This is what the Personal Data Protection Act of India is going to give us the rights. So if my data is with a third party, okay, which I'm allowing him to use my data, but if he does not take proper care of my data, and the data gets hacked or breached, and there's a misuse of that data, then I can go and sue the third party, basically. So this is what the crux of this Data Protection Act of India would be generally. Okay, so that's the reason I'm saying chartered accountants will really need to gear up for this future Data Protection Act, and really need to think about the cybersecurity, because as of now it's more from a personal point of view and not from a client point of view. We are more interested in protecting our personal finance data and everything that, like, just to give an example, all the DSCs which are there in your office, all the passwords will be nothing but 1 2 3 4 5 and 8. Convenience over security, basically. Protection available would be in the form of, how do you safeguard the data? How do you tell the client that you have done enough precautions? You have got your systems audited, you are secured enough, basically. Still, worst case would be, and an easy solution would be to go for a cyber insurance. Small cyber insurance policies ensure that the protection data is protected, audited, and enough precautions have been taken, basically. I would not say that would not make you, that means you cannot be hacked. Well, generally, yes, but still, at least we have done our bit of protecting the data. Okay, I'll share the lights, but trust me, the reason I'm not talking more about Data Protection Act here is because the act is still it's still about to come. I hope you're getting me. Okay, well, no point in discussing the draft version of Data Protection Act of India, because still it is in the draft phase. Let it come as an act. I'm sure Hyderabad chapter and ICI would call people like us and lot others for data protection seminars, webinars, and workshops. Trust me, mark my words for it. As a chartered accountant, gear up. If you're a practicing chartered accountant, I will see your scope. I mean, you will see a lot of scope improve for your practice, especially if you can do the data protection system audits or data protection audits. Basically, you can really see some good scope, because your existing clients, it would be made mandatory on your existing clients only, basically. So you can see a lot of scope, but of course, you will also have to ensure that you are not going to get hacked or breached, or at least you have your own layer of security or protection been done, basically. Okay, I'll share some details, salient points of Data Protection Act of India. Go through it. You'll get some idea as to what the act is all about. Okay, I'll move on to the next point. One of the last points for my session: how and where do you report cyber crimes? See, recently, CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team of India, also came out with a circular that some organizations need to report a cyber incident within 6 hours of the incident been happening. Too rash. I mean, too less a time to report, but still debatable, but goes on. What I intend to tell you over here is, if you want to report a cyber crime, well, basically you can come to this website. You can report cyber crimes, or you can report cyber crime anonymously in case if it's a woman related cyber crime, and if you don't want to get, you don't want to give out your details, but you can report anonymously, or you can report other cyber crime complaints also. This is an official website of the government. It is regarded as a complaint itself. If you file a complaint over here, it is treated as a complaint. It is then forwarded to the local police station, and then they take your complaints further off. But you will also see a lot of other resources that they're sharing. Internet safety tips. You can see email scam and phishing, how they're doing, identity theft, how they're doing, obscene content, online scams, job scams, matrimonial scams. you'll be able to see a lot of, hear all the, you must have heard about the Jamtara, the calls coming, your Aadhaar card being updated or your credit card limit being increased and everything like that. It's like, it reminds us of the good old days, maybe in the year 2008, 9 and 10. I believe if you had an email ID, basically, then all of you must have won a lottery. Participants, for all those participants, those who had an email ID in the year 2008, 9 and 10, did all of you win a lottery? Yes or no? I'm pretty much sure all of you must have won a lottery in your email ID. In pounds, that too in pounds, right? Hardly there would be an unfortunate participant who must have not won a lottery. In fact, few fortunate participants would have received an SMS also that they have won a lottery. Privileged one would have received an SMS. Less fortunate one would have received an emails. General public would have received emails. Yes or no? So it started 10 years back with the lottery scams. Okay, and nowadays it's the voice over calls, basically, making you calls and then asking you and luring you into giving out your data and your OTPs and everything. And unfortunately, most of the time it's the senior citizens that are becoming the targets or general housewives. So that's the reason, that's one of the other important reasons where we get so many cases in a day, where we also ensure that is one of the reasons why I say, you need to have that bank account on our mobile which has got limited balance. Okay, so this is where you can file a complaint. Okay, you can get to see all the recent cyber crimes which are also happening on this website. Basically, some safety tips, they have given a lot of resources, cyber safety tips, cyber awareness, media gallery. So there are a lot of cyber tips which are also given over here. How does a matrimonial fraud happens, job fraud, safe use of social media platform, cybercrime awareness booklet on cybersecurity awareness, financial frauds, and cyber tips they have also given. For children also they have given, for students also they have given, basically. So go through the website. If you want, I'll share the safety tips also which they have given along with my safety tips in a separate folder, basically. Yeah, you're right, Ganeshan ji. That is also a very good solution. Basically, in the same bank, we can have two operative accounts, one which can be used for like what I'm requesting is expose one bank account to the world. Learn to expose one credit card, one bank account to the world. There's no point in going to a DMart or going to a grocery store or going to a mall where we end up spending 2 or 3,000 rupees, but the card limit is of 2 or 3 lakh rupees. Okay. So I'm almost done with all my points. We can open the floor for question and answers. This is my email ID, and this is also my mobile number. Okay, sorry for a little bit of technical glitches. Generally, it works very fine, but somehow my computer was acting up today. So this is my email ID. This is my mobile number. Okay, and see, don't worry about the presentations. Okay, I'll be sharing a lot of PDFs with all of you with the branch. Okay, but it's just that I don't want it to show you via PDFs. I mean, I just thought that if I can show you something more practically in a more practical way, it would be easier for all of you to understand. Okay, so I'll be sharing the slides. Don't worry about the steps. I'll share all the steps which I have discussed today with sir. So with this, I would also like to thank Hyderabad branch once again, Deepak Ladda sir, for giving me the opportunity. And of course, thank you all the participants for being a very, very interactive participants. Thank you. I'm open for questions. Yes, if anybody has got any questions, please ask.
Members, you can ask your questions on the Q&A box, or any of the faculty speaker they want to ask orally, we can take them as a panelist and we can ask it orally also. You can just write in chat box if you want to ask the question orally, otherwise you can write. Thank you, Sachin ji. In fact, a very nice lucid presentation, and you have, as we discussed, you have kept it very practically for all of us. Very nicely done, sir. Sir, a few doubts which I have, with your permission, I'd like to ask.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Sir, regarding this, as you said, regarding the articles clerk, what you are doing, we are not sure. And what is the few steps which we should follow as a basic, which are strictly no when a data comes to the office of chartered accountant via pen drives or the something? What are the strict no we should do, that we should, whatever come what may, we should not follow this?
See, sir, generally, what I would like to say here is, sir, one is restricting the articles not to bring their own devices. Basically, like if a chartered accountant can spare some pen drives and give it to the article, so at least I can take away the pen drives at any point of time which I want. Okay. One of the best ways, again, as I would like to say, is that monitor the articles, especially when they are new, or suppose when they are given them a free end. I'm not saying I have a doubt, but monitor the article. Trust me, monitoring the articles through these tools has given a lot of insights to the chartered accountants to understand how the person is behaving, basically. Second is periodically also letting the article know that you will not be allowed to open your personal email accounts, basically. Okay, try not to share the data via personal email accounts. Do it. There should be a rule that any official data would be shared only through the official mails or official communications itself, basically, not even through WhatsApp. I mean, if you can through WhatsApp, well, at least not exactly the whole file. Create a link for that file and send it, basically. So later on, if I don't want that file, I can remove that file from that link only, from the source, so the link becomes useless later on, basically.
Can
So
we
these
have
are few things which you can try,
sir,
basically.
any software or any app that helps us to track the log data? How many emails have been sent from my office server today to which email IDs? Can we have some
Yes.
outgoing?
Yeah.
That we'll
Sir,
have to know whether any data is getting left from the emails.
yeah, sir, there are some apps which, if you want, I'll share a separate PPT for that. You can do something called as an auto forwarding of the app also, or a mail backup. There's something called as a mail backup or an auto forwarding of the mail. So what happens is, sir, anytime any mail comes into your inbox, it automatically gets backed up. Anytime any mail has been sent, it gets backed up, basically. So in case if an article does end up sending an email, and after, let's say, 30 minutes or 1 hour, he ends up deleting it, still it will be a part of our backup.
Okay, so you're trying to say, irrespective of the email ID, my server will track through the network which I'm using, that how many emails have been accessed today and from which email,
No,
which
no, no,
mail
no,
has
no.
got email IDs. Is that
No, no,
something
no, no,
possible?
no. This will be based on email, sir. I need to do the configuration on the mail.
Okay.
On the mail. But if you want to see how many email IDs were opened and what kind of mails were sent, yes, through a firewall, we can try to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Firewall, by use of firewall, we can track how many mails were accessed from our server. Sir, question from Hanmantu sir. How to differentiate genuine link and fraud link in SMS?
Oh, okay. See, genuine link or fraud link generally would be in the form of, sir, when we click on the link, okay, simply please understand, remember this. If you do not click on the link, hover the mouse over that link only, you should get a fair idea. But in case if you end up clicking on the link, just check the URL at the top. What I would request is just learn to check the URL at the top. If you end up clicking on the link, you learn to check the URL. If it's a different URL, then you will understand that, yes, it is a fraud link only. Like, say, you look into my presentations now, I have separately told you also, I have separately bifurcated what is the effect of when you click on the link and what should open and what should not open, basically.
Our committee member, Sharon. Yeah, Sharon sir, please go ahead.
Yeah, Sachin sir, very great presentation. Good to see you again here. In fact, we shared DIAS for so many forensic accounting and fraud detection courses. Sir, I have a basic question that which I am following at my office. I request you to please just throw a light. What are the pros and cons of that approach? What we are doing since Income Tax Department and GST, when we submit a return or anything, they are tracking the IP address. Just to overcome the problem, what we are doing for the last couple of months is we fill the entire data, but before submitting, we ask the client to log in. Okay, then we'll connect through TeamViewer or any desk or whatever the Teams or any of the sharing software. Then we are operating it and we are submitting it. So we are
Okay.
just thinking that the IP address while submitting, since they logged in from their system, that will be tracked. So we are out of the risk. But I just would like to know what are the pros and cons of this approach. Can we follow this, or is there any alternative?
Sir, you can follow this. Basically, sir, what I would request, sir, I'll just share my screen. Okay. Sir, what I would request is before you file the return. Okay. So now just assume that your return is about to be filed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're just ready to file the return. You're connected via any desk and you're just about to file the return. Okay. So what I would request is before you file the return on the assessor's computer, you just open this website, myip.ms, or you open this website www.who.is. Okay. So, sir, what happens here is we come to know the current IP address of the assessor. I hope you're getting me. See,
Yep.
this is my current IP address, right? This is my IPv6 or Reliance Jio, and this is my current IP address, right? Now, what I would request is just to ensure that your IP is not coming, basically. Okay, you just go and file the return. Okay, so in the ITR also you will get an IP address, right?
Right.
And then once you get the IP address, just verify whether this is the same IP address which is reflecting on the ITR or not.
Okay, so I can go ahead with the process that before
Yes.
submitting, I can ask
No,
the
no,
client
sir,
to
there's
log in
one more
and I
question
can.
which I want to ask was,
Yeah.
how are you submitting the ITR? Because, sir, if I'm not mistaken, generally what happens is majority of the chartered accountants use some applications like Genius or something like that, to upload the data or upload the ITR or something like that. Basically,
Correct. Even
in
in
your
that case, capture our IP only, na?
yes, that is the reason, because sir, the software is in our system now.
Correct. Correct.
I hope you're getting me. If the software is in our system and from our system we are going to Genius and Genius is sending it to say the department, the
That's
website.
right. That's
So
right.
just have to ensure how we are submitting the return, sir. So that's the reason I said, sir, if you can try this as a trial and error method. Go to the SSC's computer, check this IP address, then file the return using any software, or if you're using the SSC's computer, once you have filed the return in the ITR, you should probably get the SSC's IP address. That means your methodology is correct.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions, Sharan Garu?
Nothing, sir.
Fine. Sir, one more question. Like some mobile payments are asking permission to auto detect OTPs via SMS. Shall
Not a good practice.
we encourage such a practice, or how to deny the limit of auto detection of SMS from mobile?
Sir, again, same thing. We can go into the permission settings and disable the SMS settings, disable the access to SMS. So they will not get a right to read the SMS, which means we have to manually go and put the OTP.
If you use it, is it risky, sir?
Kind of like, sir, what happens here is, see, by way of doing that, we are allowing the app to read our SMSs. That means basically what happens is that app then gets a right to read all our other OTPs. But sir, honestly speaking, I'll also tell you behind it, every application is trying to read your bank balance, or every application is just trying to read what kind of SMSs you are getting, and that is the reason they're able to understand where you're going, what you're going to do, and all that kind of a thing. So prefer, like not to get access to SMSs, basically.
Members, any other questions from your side, or we'll call it a day? Okay, sir. Over to you, Ravi Garu.
Thank you so much, Sachin sir, for your excellent and elaborate discussion and thought-provoking session. And now I request Deepak Ladda, Chairman of the branch, to give closing remarks.
Thank you, Ravi sir. First of all, great thanks to my personally go-to man for all my security reasons or any cyber security, because I have attended this class. Because of sir, I have to be able to cross my FAFD classes and examination. Thank you so much, sir, for giving such a great presentation to the members of Hyderabad branch and also from other parts of this country. We are very delightful to have you with virtually today, and looking forward for a physical seminar whenever we have for forensic and other in Hyderabad branch. We are planning some day program in the month of June or July. So we request you to please come to Hyderabad branch and address the member in physical form. It will be very good help. And whatever the presentation we have shared and making it so much practical, it is only possible with your experience and your approach. Thank you so much, sir. And members, thank you for your attendance and honoring the Hyderabad branch yet another time with your patience and making such an interactive presentation, an interactive session, so that the speaker also gets a lot of energy to answer all your queries. We request you to please register for one more important seminar on 26th, day after tomorrow, on by our past inter-council member CA J. Venkateshwarlu sir, senior person who has been heading the DC benches so long, and the appellate tribunal also. So code of ethics with practical case studies. So sir said he will not take us through schedule 1, schedule 2 in verbal turn, but he will share his practical experience, what he has been doing. So we request you to please register for that program. It is also virtual, and that too, it's with nil CPE fees. So request you to please enroll for that program. Thank you once again. Over to you, Secretary.
Thank you, sir. Now I request you to share paper virtual memento to speaker as a token of gratitude. Thank you, sir.
Sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please accept it, sir, on behalf of the branch.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you once again, sir. Very nice.
Now, with this, I conclude this seminar with my humble thanks to the speaker and chairman of Hyderabad branch, and Uppalapati Sharan Kumar branch committee member, and ACS Reddy branch committee member, and all the attendees who attended the program, and the branch staff for arranging this virtual seminar. Looking forward to see you in the next